Hey, what's going on, guys? We have some more Advanced Zeta stuff to look at today, and of course, once again, it's still Premium-Bandai, as it seems everything Advanced Zeta is going to be from now on, if we still get more. I don't know, it seems like Bandai's getting right to that point where they've done a bunch of variants, and I don't know how far they're still really going to push it. We still have the KHR2 coming out as well, which is it's getting to be pretty extreme. Now, if they keep going with that, they're getting into the more extreme, more obscure mobile suits from Advanced Zeta, which I hope they do, but I think they're probably maybe getting to a point of saturation where they've already put out a bunch of kits, and I don't know how many more people are going to keep buying in high volume. I don't know. I personally am hoping that they will continue to do more, but I don't know if they're going to do any more. Anyway, this is the Gundam TR-1 Haze'n-thley, and it looks very cool. So we've got a lot of different parts in here which come together to make a mobile suit, which is not necessarily all that big. It's an HG kit that's not going to be that much larger than the standard Hazel. Like from the waist down, it's pretty much just like a regular Hazel. But as you can see, it's a pretty good sized box here. This is like a bigger master grade size boxes. So typical with P-Bandai, there's not really much to see on the outside of the box, so we don't really need to really look too much more around the sides. There's nothing to really see there. But the box art does look pretty cool. I like the box art here for this, pretty standard. But let's get it cracked open and see what we got inside. We've got 8 bags of runners and an instruction manual, which is just plain with nothing really too much to see here either as far as any pictures or anything. But we do have our color guide here, not in color, but just listed there in Japanese and in English though, so at least we got some English in here, even though it's not the full manual. And we got our parts list here as well. It looks like we're gonna have different like A runners. One runner is from the Primrose, one's from the Hazel, for example, so it just shows you which one's which. And we got a bunch of parts left over from both of those. We got a bunch of parts left over here from the B runners as well, looks like, and from the C runners. So you're gonna have a big stack of leftover parts from this, but it should be kind of expected. I mean, just looking at the design, you can see it's using parts from a bunch of different kits. So it's not very surprising that we're gonna have a lot of leftover parts in this case. So it looks like we're gonna go through the construction and just wanna see what all interesting we have to look at here. So the construction all is looking pretty normal. This goes through building the body and then the backpack and the weapons. And then the very last part here is just where to place the stickers around on the kit, and that's it. So yeah, no like transformation or anything, nothing really too special about the gimmicks of this. It's just a relatively standard kit, but it does have some pretty cool, I mean, have you guys ever noticed that this has a woundwort arms for its front skirts? That's very cool. It's basically like the manipulator arms that are on the front skirts of the advanced Hazel, but they're just actually woundwort arms in this case, so very cool. Alright, let's take a look at the runners anyway. Alright, so first up we are going to have some foil stickers here, and it looks like a pretty standard set for this. We got the long ones here for the blade rifle, of course, and then eye stickers, camera stickers, camera stickers, camera stickers. But we do also have some marking stickers here, and it's just a bunch of Titans Test Team logos here. Again, sad that it's not waterside decals, but at least you got some cool markings you can stick on there. We've got Polycap Runner PC123 here in gray. Alright, and then our A runner here. This is the A runner from the original Hazel kit from 2005, so this is a pretty old one. It's in 4 colors. You got that orange yellow across the top for all the bright accent color parts. A couple of red parts over here on the side, the beam effect part molded onto the runner there in clear pink, and then that dark Titans blue there for most of the parts here. And then our other A runner here, once again from the Primrose part set, so you got some more yellow throughout here, and then a bunch more white parts, but again, most of this runner not going to be used. As far as how useful it could possibly be, we'll discover that once I get it all built up. And the B runner here also in white, once again just going back to the original Hazel kit, so you got some parts for the arms, legs, shoulders, and all that. And then runner B1 here in gray is back to parts from the Primrose, so more Primrose parts that we will and will not use. And then runner C bouncing back to the original Hazel kit of 2005, so obviously the rest of our white armor parts there for the legs, waist, skirt armor parts, and again, lots of parts on there that I can tell we won't be using for this kit. Runner C2 here is just the parts from the woundwort kit originally for the top part of the blade rifle in that dark navy blue color. And then once more going back to the original Hazel kit here for runner D for just the gray joint parts and hand parts and things like that, once again from the original 2005 Hazel kit. And from this point on, for the rest of the unboxing, I'm re-recording the audio because I was thinking that these runners are from the TR-6 Haze'n-thley 2, but actually none of these runners are. All the rest of the runners are actually new. So this is the runner E1 here in white with a bunch of new parts here for the composite shield and new parts for the waist section, new parts for the head and the skirt section on there. I also have runner E2, just a copy of this section of the runner up here. Then runner F1 here is in dark blue. We got some new parts for the arms and for the backpack, the torso section on there. You also have runner F2, which is a copy of this section of the runner up here, including new parts for the boots as well, similar like what we've seen on the advanced Hazel, but we've got some new parts for those also. Then runner G1 is more new parts all here in gray, so you got new parts for the hip section all through there. You also got new parts for going like in the thighs. You got some new parts for like the top of the thigh, the hip section in there. Some new parts for inside of the arms, inside of the shoulders, inside of the backpack, and some new hands all here in gray. And you do also have runner G2 for a copy of this half of the runner over here. And then also new here is runner H is new parts for the inside of the composite shield. So you'll see this doesn't include the parts for that to open up for the claw form, but you've got some new parts in there here all in gray. And then runner I1 is some more yellow accent color parts around there. And then runner I2 is our one little red part there for in the chest as well. And so that is it for all the runners, so it's about half reused from either the Haze'n-thley or the Primrose, or the Hazel or the Primrose, and then it's half new parts for the Haze'n-thley. Now, I was expecting like parts for the arms, the shoulders, and parts for the backpack and the torso to be reused from like the TR-6 Haze'n-thley too, but it's all actually new parts, so that's really great to see. Let's see how it all comes together. So yeah, I don't know, I guess I was just kind of having a moment where my brain wasn't working. I forgot to... Actually, so much of this kit is actually new, and that is really awesome. I just I guess I forgot totally also about this image that Bandai came out with when this kit was first announced, showing all the new parts for this kit. And it's like the majority of this kit is new, and it doesn't necessarily look like it because you think all these are parts from the Haze'n-thley too, and parts from the Primrose there in the chest, but it's like almost all new, so it's pretty awesome, and that makes this kit definitely a lot more worthwhile because, as you saw, it's a pretty big box, pretty expensive kit, but when you consider how much new is in there, it definitely makes it a lot more worth it. At least in my mind, it's still, you know, a relatively small kit when it all comes together, as it just being a 1/44 scale high grade kit here, you know, generally being about the same size as your normal Hazel. But all the new parts, the added bulk on this, I mean, it just comes together as such a great looking kit. This kit looks fantastic, so I'm really super happy with this. Let's go ahead and check it out in detail. Just to quickly first run through the accessories here for our hand options, you got your standard holding hands there. And for the right hand, you've also got a beam saber holding hand and a trigger finger hand for the beam rifle. And for the left, you've got an optional open hand, which also could double as a rifle support hand. Speaking of rifle, we've got the standard Hazel beam rifle, which leaves a lot to be desired. It's very plain and just being all one color. The detail is fine, and you do have this moving part here on the side. Doesn't have a sticker even for the camera, so I mean, it's very plain just straight out the box. You're probably going to want to stick with the beam saber, right? No, of course we have the beam saber in here as well, just a smaller scale, 1/44 scale. It's the smaller style, I guess I should say, 1/44 scale clear pink beam saber. Yeah, so of course the main weapon is going to be here with the composite shield. Now this top part, this blue part, and the little flip up camera on that, there we go. Those two blue parts are not new. Those are from the Wound War kit, and then you have a little foil sticker there for that. But everything else is new for this. So even this blade part here at the end is a new part. This one also has some stickers on that still, unfortunately, but that's new. New parts all in here. So you don't have the folding arm inside here like what you would use with the Wound War. What you instead have just this solid fixed piece there, and then a standard like shield connector piece to connect that onto the back of the arm. So I much prefer this. I really like this new design here for this. Doesn't have that moving part because you just don't need that with this version. As for the little fin out the back, you have the option of changing the position of that if you want. You can take that out, reposition that to be pointing like this. Now, I'm not really sure exactly what the reason for that totally is, except for other than maybe that will make it easier to stand. So if you want to just do a standing pose with it just like holding the shield like in the hand, that's much better than having to try to balance it on the point of that one little fin. So that's one reason. But another accessory that we do have, if you want to have this in the stored position, so basically I guess what it does is this blade will shoot back up into here to be stored inside there. So it doesn't actually do that. What we have is just a piece to make it look like it's doing that by putting this extra piece in there in the back so that it looks like the back end of the blade just sticking out the top. And so this is how it's meant to just carry it in the stored position with the blade not extended out the front. So that is also pretty cool way to just use this just as the shield. It has a composite shield here without the blade full extended on it, so very cool. And as you can see here, I did put some of the marking stickers on, but just for the rest of the foil stickers, it's got one there for the eyes, for the top of the head, up on these parts, on this part on the backpack, the stickers for the camera lenses on these cannons on the top of the shoulders, one round here on the backpack, again standard Hazel style, and then down here at the top, or the bottom of the legs I should say, there as well. The head design is very cool, and that will go up to about there. It's basically just on a ball joint, so you just have your standard movement, range of movement for that, which is nothing like that special, but it's pretty good. It's good enough. You can move up and down to there. The torso section is basically just on a ball joint, so you have a little bit of movement here and there and some rotation, but nothing really too much there in the middle section. The shoulder will swing forward and back a little bit like that. You can bring that up and bring the arm ultimately out to about 90 degrees there, and it's a pretty cool new shoulder joint that they're using for that. This cannon here on the back, of course, can also rotate on this axis and also rotate on this axis here, so you can move that around as you need. The elbow joint is pretty interesting as it's up inside this massive piece, but that will give you a good bend there, more than 90 degrees, and it looks pretty weird now that you have this part that's like, it's like a U bend there in the elbow, but it's effective enough. And that wrist is just on a ball joint. Of course, we have some rotation here at the top of the arm as well. And I'll skip over the front skirts section here for the moment and just mention that the side skirts will also move up and down a little bit. The back skirt will not move anywhere. It's just one big solid fixed piece on there, standard, again, Hazel Custom style, even though that is a new piece on there. The hips are no longer a ball and socket joint. We have much better range of movement for those. They'll go all the way out to the side there, and then not really too much to the front because of this massive, basically half of a wound wart stuck on the front of its front skirt there. But the leg will go forward a little bit, and then you've got a pretty good knee bend there, giving you about 90 degrees, a little bit more than that maybe. The ankle joint also is going to be the same as we've seen with the original Hazel kit, but that will give you a pretty good forward bend there, down to there. This front ankle armor will move up and down a little bit on its own there. You can move ankles side to side a little bit, and then up underneath the feet you've got a little bit of detail, but not a lot. These are actually new parts though too, so I wish they would have added a little bit more detail in them if they're going to make new parts. One thing that they did add was a little bit of color separation here with this yellow piece there in the back, which is pretty nice. Now, on the torso, you have these little fins which like to fall out all the time, and they seem very delicate, so I would highly recommend you guys glue those in place so that they don't fall out, and then just be very careful when you're moving the kit around not to break those off while you're in the process of that. Up here on the backpack, this part will move a little bit. You can slide that out and kind of change the angle of that if you wanted. You can completely remove this part. You know, you could plug something else onto there if you wanted, some other equipment, as it's just kind of the standard backpack there basically. But for now, we're going to keep it with the official stuff and mention about the front skirts here. So yeah, this is basically the torso and the arms of a wound wart attached onto the front of its front skirt here. But unfortunately, they're not really functional, so the arm will rotate here at its connection point, but that is about it. The arm doesn't have any elbow joint or wrist joint. You can see the hand is there, and the detail is there of just like a folded up hand. But unfortunately you can't actually use these for anything, so I wish they would have actually made those as like fully articulated regular wound wart arms. All the detail is there, but they don't actually have any articulation built into them other than just being able to stick out there like that. So what I wanted to try is if you can replace these with the arms from a regular wound wart kit. So you can see like the design doesn't quite match up, especially like the joint parts. The white parts seem to be pretty much exactly the same, just the joint parts are a little bit different in the way those move. These ones on the actual working arm don't, you know, move in the way that they would need to in order to fold up entirely like this. But if you wanted to have it out and extended and actually in use, now I have the open hand attached onto there at the moment, but if you wanted to put on the holding hand, you could then use that as like an arm to hold your beam saber or something. But you can see how that would work perfectly fine like that if you wanted to attach an actual wound wart arm onto there for doing some cool action poses or something. That could be very cool. So it's cool that they made that so that you're able to do that. I wish though that they would have just given you the parts included with this kit to make this either a fixed pose arm like this or to make an actual articulated arm. Now I can understand they probably couldn't do both in one, but giving us the option parts to make both, and you can just switch it out if you want, really would have been ideal. But if you have an extra wound wart kit laying around, which probably no one does, but you could use the arm for that if you wanted to. And so while it's unfortunate no wound wart arms, we do have a lot of other leftover parts that I just wanted to show you. For example, an entire chest unit here of the Hazel Custom, so you've got all that you could use. And most of the waist section, you're missing obviously the parts for the front skirt and the side skirts, but you've got like the original hips, which are now replaced, or the thighs I should say, the hips and the thighs all replaced, as well as the back skirt, which is now a new part on there as well. You've got parts like for the whole upper arm and shoulders of the Hazel Custom as well, and then a bunch of leftover parts, which is basically just scraps. There's not a whole lot you can do with them, but a bunch of leftover parts from the Primrose as well. We've also got these spare ammunitions, which were meant to be plugged onto the side skirt of the Hazel Custom, or other variations of the Hazel, but for some reason on this kit it doesn't tell you to plug them onto there, even though you definitely could if you wanted to and put them right onto there. It's just that in the manual it doesn't say for you to do that, but if you wanted to, I mean, you got them, you might as well put them on there, right? So the other new improvement that that new hip joint adds to this kit, aside from just improved articulation there, the hips, is also the addition of a hard point for plugging an action base connector, whereas the original kit didn't have the 3mm hole there for plugging an action base connector peg up into that. Now you do, so it's much easier to put this up on an action base. Although I am finding while it does have much better hips, without the ability to put the legs like forward at all, basically because of the massive front skirts, that is inhibiting some posing on this kit. But otherwise, the improved articulation all around is definitely such a welcome improvement to this kit, with it basically being I'm just considering this sort of as like improvements on the HG Hazel, even though there's very little of the HG Hazel still left in this at this point. It's pretty much an entirely new kit, so I shouldn't really say that it's an improvement, just that it's got great articulation with this kit. Pretty good articulation considering the design. I think there's definitely some limitations in there with the design of this, as it goes with these advanced Zeta designs being pretty complicated ones. I think the articulation they've handled pretty well on this. I love the new parts for the composite shield. Those are great, and they make it much more stable, make it such a much more enjoyable accessory to use, where with the wound wart it's such a cool design, but with the wound wart it was such a kind of a pain to use that because it didn't really hold it well. But now that you can actually just mount it onto the arm, it's so much better to use, I think. The beam rifle, that's just a standard beam rifle, unfortunately still pretty boring and not really too much fun with this kit, but you don't really particularly need that, I think, when you've got the really cool composite shield there to use as your main accessory for this, I think. So overall, the kit looks great, the color separation is really nice on this, the design is really great. You don't really have too much in the way of seam lines either, they're almost non-existent, there are just a couple here and there. It is a high grade, so that just shouldn't come as too much of a surprise. I think overall it's much better than you would get with a typical high-grade kit, I think. So I think while this kit is expensive, being a P-Bandai kit, unfortunately, there's definitely a lot to like about this kit, and especially if you're an advanced Zeta fan, this is definitely one that I would highly recommend for you guys to check out. It's not quite as big as the Haze'n-thley 2, and it's not quite as different as the wound wart, but it's definitely a really fun kit. If you have any other further questions or comments about this, of course, feel free to leave those down below. Let me know what's been your favorite of the P-Bandai Advanced Zeta kits that have come out over the past couple years. I'm gonna say probably the wound wart's, I guess, probably a lot of people's favorites. That was a really awesome one, but there's been a lot of really cool ones out now that we've gotten a handful of variations out since then. So as always, guys, subscribe if you haven't, if you'd like to see more, and I'll see you in the next video. Do check out the link to USA Gundam Store down below if you want to save 10% off everything on there. You can use my coupon code ZakuAurelius10. That's also down there in the video description. So thank you so much for the support. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.